Hi, Blake with BlvdHome, and this is the Samsung Bespoke AI Combo Washing Machine. We've already done another video on this as far as unboxing of this machine, but now we're going to do the teardown and we're going to look what's on the inside and see what I like, what I don't like. And I'm just basing this all on my experience and having to work on these machines. I've never tore into one of these. I've never been to a class on these. So this will be a first for you and a first for me. So let's tear this thing apart and see what we can find that makes this bespoke Samsung all-in-one unit work and give you the lowdown on the internal parts of this machine. So let's get going. Wow. Well, my fear factor just jumped, but it always jumps with these all-in-one units because they put a lot of stuff in a very small space to make it work, and they have to, and I 100% get that. So when I say that, it's not a knock on anybody, it's just all these all-in-one combo units are pretty compact. Looking at the unit here, it's got a good size compressor. This is our compressor right here, and our accumulators right next to it. It's a good size compressor. We have a very large fan right here. The purpose of this fan would be to just move air over this compressor and keep it cool so it will operate properly. Within this here, we've got our water valves. This is some type of thermistor, probably to measure our inlet temperature from the heat pump, because it probably is going to draw our air across and blow the air into the unit this way. And this would be one of the sensors to measure that. We have different connectors that are covered up. This is basically our heat exchanger area right here in our refrigeration area. It is basically all covered up. There's not much to really see here, not much really to get into. We got a very large blower fan right here for moving our air through the washing machine for the drying process and pulling the heat through our heat exchanger here to be able to generate our heat. You have a couple different thermistors here that are tied into the tubing for the refrigeration so it can monitor different temperatures at different places, so it can tell how efficiently it is working based on your inlet and outlet temperatures coming in and out of our condenser. We've got this connector covered up here, and I don't know why they would have that covered up. That's kind of interesting. It looks like we have another water valve right here. If you look way down in the bottom here, this is our tub for our machine. The whole top part of this is basically the whole dryer part of this. Okay, initial thoughts, just taking the top off and looking at it. Without going through the training class of how to tear this apart, I have a little bit of reservations as far as fixing it and how easy it's going to be to repair. Because this whole thing is covering up the tub, and generally you don't need to get in the tub, but you know, the water valve is easy to get to, which is convenient. The fans, the compressor being right here is real convenient. As far as the other components, well, let's take the back off and see what we can see with that, because right now I'm not seeing very much easy access to that area. So let's take the back off, see what we can see. We'll kind of keep tearing it down to see what else we can see here, and I'll give you a little bit more of a informed opinion, because like I said, you're seeing this just like I am seeing this. This is my first time tearing it down. It's always reservation when you're tearing something down the first time and learning something, because you just don't know. But after you've done it for a while and you've seen a bunch of them, it becomes easy. And so right now this doesn't seem super easy, but again, first time's first time. Here's looking at the back of the unit here. Now we've already taken the back cover off. This looks very similar to what Samsung's been building for quite some time. It's a direct drive motor right here. Your main control board and your inverter board for your motor is right here. Kind of see the white tabs that hold it. That's located right here. That is pretty much the same. It hasn't changed a whole lot. This metal cover here is new, and I'm sure this is part of the drying system, but this is definitely new onto their tub. Our main board is located right there for the whole unit. You see that cover right there, that's the main board and drain pump. Way back in there, it looks like the pumps for pulling up your detergents from your automatic dispensers are located way up in the front. On this side over here, kind of way back in there, there's that white piece, and you see the gray pipe coming off it. That's our drain pump. Back here, there's not a whole lot to do, except if you need to get into your inverter board here, you have to get into the back for your main motor. So now we've got the top of this, the trim piece come off, and we have the bottom taken off, where and you can see our pump very clearly sitting right here. I will tell you, this was not an easy task. You have to remove these side trim pieces to take this off. You have to tip the machine back to be able to remove them. Not an easy task. This is definitely not going to be an easy job for a technician to be able to get into. Just kind of initial thoughts as far as that goes and how difficult this is coming apart. Just like any of these combo units, and that's any of the LGs, the GEs, and this one, they're not going to be a cheap repair. My advice just right off the bat with any of these units has nothing to do with how good they are, how bad they are. I would just get the extended warranty for them, because if they do break, they're going to be costly to fix. I don't care which one you get. They're very time consuming, and they've got a lot of stuff stuffed in a little box. So just be mindful of that. that. Let's keep tearing this thing down. Let's see what else we can find underneath everything. We got the front off the unit. It's kind of a struggle, as you can see stuff falling. This is the back of the front panel. So here's our little board up here. It's just behind this cover. This is the connector that connects into the machine for operation as far as sending all the information to the main board, what it wants it to do. Nothing too spectacular. Our door lock, the one that's hanging right there that we showed earlier, that goes right there. And that's what locks the door. I'm gonna set this aside and let's take a look at what's on the inside. Front of the unit here, we've got some type of board here. I'm not sure exactly what that's for. This is our blower right here for moving our air. Our drain pump is located right here. We saw the back of it earlier, but this is the drain pump right here. It's not too bad to get access to it. This right here is just a counterweight. It's just a cement block held by a couple of bolts. Take that off and you can get easy access to stuff that's right back there. This is definitely where your air comes in through this part right here and it blows. Stick my hand way up in there. Look, it's disappeared. Hey, where'd it go? It's way up inside where the blower is, and that's where air is definitely going to come through for the drying process. Tanks here. This is our door lock. This device right here, this is definitely our pump for our detergents. There's a small heater that's right here. They've had that heater on these wash machines for a long time. That heater is to help heat up the wash water inside the unit if it's not hot enough, or if you need to get to a sanitized temperature. That's what that heater is for. Now I've really kind of got it tore apart and looked at it. It's very similar to what Samsung's been building for a long time. Added a couple things to the bottom of it to make it work for this combination. You know, since I've now torn it apart once and I've had to tear it apart again, would it be so hard? No, not really. I don't think it'd be as difficult. It is still a little bit of work to get to this point. The question might arise in my brain, is it going to require a couple people to repair this unit? This may end up being a two-person job. Just be aware of that. If you do have repairs down the road, that it may require two people, which again adds to the cost of the repair, but it's a nice looking unit. Again, it's an all-in-one unit. They're putting a lot of stuff in a very small place, and they're making this so the normal consumer cannot fix these for the most part. You're gonna have to rely on a technician, somebody that has experience and or training from Samsung to be able to work on these units or any of the combo units, because they're just too overwhelming. It's gonna be hard for anybody to fix, even us. So that's my opinion on this machine and what we can see with the teardown of it. We're gonna put this thing back together now and run some laundry through it and see how well it washes and how well it dries, and we'll compare that against these other units. If you have any questions or any comments, put it below in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and we will talk to you again real soon.